A change of seasons is always a good chance to make sure you have your financial house in order. And there's a lot of things you can do that won't take up a lot of time, but could make a big difference in your finances. Joining us today to talk about that is Jon Paradise from Town Country Federal Credit Union. Jon, good to see you.
Always good to see you too, Pat.
Step one, you think, is do a financial audit. You have to know what you're spending every month, and we sometimes lose track of some of these recurring payments we make.
Yeah, I think it's always good to take stock of what you're spending your money on, and there are subscription services that I think people forget that they're subscribed to, and maybe it's only $7 or $8 a month, but that adds up. So take stock of where your payments are going. Do you really need to keep certain subscriptions? You might make some tweaks here and there as well, and you'll at least get a pretty good picture of where your finances are at this time of the year.
Now, your next piece of advice has less to do with how much you're spending as to how you're carrying your cards around, and that means clean out your wallet. That's one of those things that a lot of us just never think to do, and when you do it, you find out you got an awful lot of junk in there you don't need.
Absolutely, and it'll be a heck of a lot better for your back or your shoulder or wherever your wallet is being carried. Again, from a practical standpoint, get rid of those receipts that you don't need anymore. They could fall out and get into the wrong hands, or you just never know what you might find. You might find an extra $20 bill that is hiding beneath certain pieces of paper, but it's a good rule of thumb to do it certainly at least once a year, optimally more than once a year, maybe once a month if you can.
And that's also a good time to take an inventory of the cards you have, your credit cards in particular. Why is that important?
Well, I think you need to, again, know what credit cards you have, what you're using, what you're paying for an interest rate. Might be a good time to check in with your financial institution or your credit card company to maybe see if maybe they're offering a different rate, or maybe there's some special introductory rates for other cards. And also, it's a great way to inventory the numbers, the contact information for all the cards in your wallet or your purse, wherever you keep them, in case they get lost. You have information that you can reach out to any of those credit card providers in a quick hurry and cancel those cards or change the information if you need to.
Yeah, and that's key, because anybody who's ever lost a wallet, you have that moment of panic and you're trying to remember, what do I have? Who do I need to call? And how quickly can you do it? If you've got an inventory somewhere, that makes it a lot easier to do.
Absolutely. And, as I said, I touched upon it a little bit, check rates, find out what's being offered out there. Take stock. Just because you have 5 credit cards doesn't mean you need to use all 5 at the same time. There may be one in particular that gives you the rewards you want, has the rate you want, has the limit that you want. Maybe just use that and keep that one in your wallet or your purse, and leave the other 4 out, and out of mind, out of sight, so to speak.
And this can also be a good time to check your credit reports.
Yeah, you get 3 a year through the major credit reporting companies. A lot of financial institutions offer free credit reports at any time, but through the 3 credit reporting companies, again, you get 1 a year from each one. Good time to get them, if not quarterly, at least every 4 months or so, and find out what your credit score is, and if there are any things that need to be disputed, good time to do so as well.
And finally, this isn't necessarily the time of year you automatically think about paying your taxes, because that happens in the spring, but it can be a good time to see where you stand and how things are shaping up halfway through the tax year.
Yeah, it's a great time to do a mock return, if you will. It doesn't cost anything. There are great resources online. The IRS has tax return simulators at their website. There are a lot of other sites around. Figure out, maybe you're going to owe. Maybe it's a good time to start saving more, or you're going to get back. And it's a good time to at least give yourself a heads up, if not financially, certainly mentally, how you're heading into the final quarter of the tax year.
Lots of good advice. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you, Pat.